Well, it's mid-April. Decided to get a greenhouse going. So this structure here is a 10 by 20 garage. Usually it would have like a dark top on it, but I'm going to put poly so it's see-through. I built frames around the edge here, or both ends, so I can have a doorway. In here are the beds, so it's basically one big T-shaped bed. Goes most of the way. So what I've got on the bottom here is, bottom of the bed is 2-inch and 3-inch foam, just scraps I had lying around. My problem here is I've got cold springs and falls. So what this pipe does here is this white pipe. It will actually tee off at the top here inside, suck the hot air and blow it down. That's perforated pipe down there. And have 1 foot of rocks on the bottom here that it's going to heat up during the day, and then 2 feet of dirt on top of that for the boxes. I've also kept it away from the edges just because cold nights when it gets below zero, I don't want to have any plants too close to the edge. So there we have it. Just got to build the boxes, fill it with rocks and dirt. Rocks, and more rocks. So I built the sides, filled it with rocks, and then I put plywood over top of it, slanted on an angle to the outsides. That way the water runs off. Then I put the radiant floor heating pipe in there. That way I can heat it with my wood burner. Made some progress in the last couple of days, so finished building the outside structure there. Filled it with rocks, a foot high. Kind of tapered it toward the sides. Put some wood down, and just finished putting some cloth down and then some dirt down the middle, so that way the radiant floor lines don't have a bump. I need the water to run off, so filled in the bumps with dirt. That's coming along. Next step is poly, and then I'll run some 2-inch pipe all the way along the sides, out over there, out at the other end, and out right down there where the hole is. And I'll run a straight piece across there, so the pipe will have holes in it. I'll put a bit of ground cloth and some gravel around it, and then start adding some dirt. You'll notice the tape here. I just had some screws I went through, so I bashed them with a hammer and then taped them so they don't cut the poly when I put it in. Yeah, just about to put the poly in. Yeehaw. After the poly, I put a bunch of sand in to help the drainage. On top of the sand was some bark mulch, kind of composty stuff. Then dirt. Then poly over the structure. Notice I put some tin foil on the outside of the beds. That helped to keep the mice away. I did have a bit of a mouse problem to begin with. I started growing some of the plants inside the house and then transplanted them in the greenhouse. Next was to work on the outside garden beds. They turned out not too bad, I guess. That's about 3 months later. Here's the greenhouse. It's kind of a rainy day. It's wet on the ground here. So I have window here, 2 on the other end. It open automatically when the heat gets too high. Got a door here. Open her up. First section here isn't too terribly impressive. I thought I'd try some peanuts. Had a whole row along this end and a row along that end. Only a few have survived, and down the middle I just recently transplanted some peppers. In the middle here I have some carrots. They're going like crazy. Just a jungle. Next section, hot peppers. Sort of coming along. Next section I did have some kale along here, but recently we've had some really hot days and they pretty much shriveled up and died. The romaine is going nuts. I can't even keep up. This other, so that's romaine. This is just a lettuce plant. It's just gone nuts. I don't know what the heck's going on. Too hot, I guess. This is my spinach. It was just totally getting overgrown, and I chopped it all down. And anyway, so now I have some tomato plants here. These guys are best boys. They're doing pretty good. The tomatoes haven't actually started growing just yet, but they're pretty soon. In the middle here, which is my tallest plants, it's just insane. Like, the thickness of this thing is just nuts. That's a Tamalio Verde something or other. Anyways, good for salsa verde. It's a green tomato, I believe. Same thing, it's just flowering, but hopefully it'll start growing tomatoes soon, and then more tomatoes. But in between I have dill. On the far end I've got cilantro, and in this jungle here there is some basil. Yeah, so far doing pretty good. I'll take you outside. So I planted a bunch of stuff outside. Stop. Let all the mosquitoes back out because they like getting in there. So I'll open this up. Outside I've got this first row here is all onions. Back there, fairly tall, is the peas. This is my big puddle potato bed. Then I've got two of the Three Sisters. Three Sisters is normally corn, squash, and peas, I think, or anyways. So I just did two of the three. I did corn, I added some peas, and then on the outside I did some beans. I don't really particularly like squash, so back with that. Some experimental stuff over on the end here. These guys are three different types of lentils. Got one little plant back there is soy. It's trying. And then I have quinoa. And I'm going to say buckwheat. I can never remember that one correctly. But then some of my early experiments with beans, which did not like transplanting very much. So they're not doing so great, but I replanted some. Back over there behind there are some raspberries that are sort of trying to grow, but anyways, those are a recent thing. But anyway, so far everything is looking pretty good. Of course, everyone knows we've had a really horrible summer. It's just been raining. There's some potatoes I'm doing in a bag. Already harvested one bag of potatoes. Actually, sorry, 2 bags, potato bags. I think I got, 27 potatoes out of one and 16 out of another. So all in all, kind of nice to be growing my own food.